Good morning.
Good morning.
How's everybody doing? Okay. As you notice, we have some little furry friends in the front of the room today. What do you think they're all about? What are we talking about today?
Christmas.
No, we done busted Christmas about 4 or 5 weeks ago. And though some of them have hats on, it's because they live where it's cold. So what do you think we're talking about today? Oh, come on, help me out. What are these things called? Never hold an animal by its head. What are these?
These are not the birds.
Well, can somebody say what kind of bird it is?
Penguins.
Penguins! They're not scary. Okay, this one may look a little scary, but it's because my 15-year-old son has loved the stuffing out of him over the last 13 years. But he's going to sit here and help me read the book. So we're going to read about penguins today. Now, penguins are interested. Are they birds or are they like animals like cats and dogs?
They're birds that swim.
They're birds that swim. Do they fly?
No.
But birds are supposed to fly.
Yeah, some birds.
Most birds fly, maybe a few ostriches, but penguins can't fly. Now, if you can hold one if you're right there, but don't be playing with them because that makes me distracted because I think that they're all like going to creep up here on me and try to get up here too close to see the pictures. So if y'all want to scoot up so you can see the pictures, we're going to be holding the book up. We don't have it up on the screen today. Big guy, you sit right there. Because time constraints. All right, so everybody ready to hear some stories? Well, penguins wanted to fly. Some of them did, because I'm going to read 2 books about it. And there must be some kind of theme going on here. The first one I'm going to read is, we'll just go ahead and face the fact. Penguins can't fly. And this is by Richard Byrne. Not Bird, but Byrne. Once upon a time, there were 2 eggs, which hatched into 2 little birds. One was a gull named Gregory, and the other one was a penguin named Hudson. So Gregory and Hudson were the best of friends. They did everything together. Do you like to do things with your friends?
Yeah.
As time went on, they started to grow and to change. But they still remained the best of friends. They don't look the same anymore, do they? One day, Gregory spotted a few young gulls having fun flying over the beach. He flapped his wings and flew off to join them. "Come on, Hudson," he cried. You think Hudson's going to join him? Hudson flapped and flapped his little wings and flop. No, he didn't die. "What use is a bird that can't fly?" jeered Gregory's new friends. "I can fly," said Hudson grumpily. "I'll show them," he thought. But no matter how hard he tried, with balloons or with a trampoline or with springs on his feet, he couldn't fly. Splash! And the other gulls laughed at him. "Well, maybe I can fly," sniffed Hudson to himself. "And if I can't fly, I must be useless." Meanwhile, the gulls were busy showing off to each other. They were showing off how they could fly and flip and just have all that fun. "Watch me dive," squealed Gregory. And he watched him dive. Hudson and the gulls waited for Gregory to return to the surface. And they waited. And they waited. Wait a minute, he dove in the water and he hasn't come back. And they waited until Hudson sensed that something was wrong. He dived into the water and swam down to the sea floor. Gregory was tangled in an old fisherman's net. Hudson brought Gregory to the surface and put him safely on a rock. Gregory couldn't thank Hudson enough. The other gulls felt ashamed and agreed that even though Hudson couldn't fly, he was a great friend to them. And a brilliant diver, especially when it was time for catching supper. Wow, look how they all worked together to catch supper. And look what they did in the end, the penguins. With a little help from their friends, penguins can fly. Look, all the seagulls, after they ate the fish that were in the net, all the seagulls took him for a ride. So he got to see what it was like to fly. And that's what friends do. They like each other even though they're different. And even though some people can ride a bike and some people can't, and some people can whistle and other people can't, you're still friends when you all do different things. Now, as we have talked about, there's penguins having this problem with flying. And this is another story about a penguin who wanted to fly. Apparently, they haven't heard that one that says they can't fly yet. And this book is by Catherine Voss. Flip-Flop sat on his favorite thinking rock and he looked up at the sky. I wish I could fly, he said to himself. So Flip-Flop stood up and he looked down his little wings and he flapped them. And nothing happened. Flip-Flop could not fly. But that night, Flip-Flop had a dream. He dreamed he was flying. It was so quiet and peaceful up there in the starry sky. Have you ever dreamed you were flying?
No.
I have, actually. The next morning, Flip-Flop had an idea. He would make himself some wings. Can I help? Said Polar Bear. So Flip-Flop climbed on top of Polar Bear to get a little extra height, and he flapped his wings. Flap, flap, flap. What did he make his wings out of? Some kind of leaves, like palm fronds. Flop. Oops, said Flip-Flop. It didn't matter because Flip-Flop had another idea. Just the thing, he said, as he pulled his special helicopter cap out of his dress-up clothes. He spun around and around and around and around and around and around. He started spinning faster and faster and faster until he spun out of control, kind of like a drone at the White House. Ouch, said Flip-Flop as he flopped to the ground. I feel very dizzy. So the helicopter hat, all that made him do was spin in a circle, but he just couldn't get up. No altitude. That night, it snowed. And in the morning, Flip-Flop was very excited, and he had another idea. He would build an airplane made out of snow. A snowplane. Flip-Flop was very pleased with himself. He climbed in. 5. Help me count down. 4, 3, 2, 1. And he waited for it to take off. And he waited, and he waited, and he waited. Oh dear, Flip-Flop sighed. And then the sun came out and melted his snowplane. But it didn't matter, because Flip-Flop had another idea, a better idea. He got a balloon, and he tied a piece of string to it. And then the balloon floated up, and so did Flip-Flop. I'm flying, said Flip-Flop very excitedly. I'm really flying. And he was. Until pop, remember that tree that he made his wings out of? Went the balloon. Flop, went Flip-Flop. Poor Flip-Flop. I'm never gonna fly, he cried. Polar Bear gave his friend a hug and said, come with me. Polar Bear gave Flip-Flop a gentle push down their favorite slide. Whoosh! And Flip-Flop whizzed down the ice. Did y'all like to slide down the hill when it's snowy? Whee! I'm flying, said Flip-Flop. But then, splash! Help! Cried Flip-Flop as he splashed into the sea. But it was very peaceful down there under the sea. And there was lots of other fish and floaty things. Wow, said Flip-Flop. This is just like flying. Flip-Flop couldn't really fly, but that didn't matter because when he was underwater, Flip-Flop could swim. And in fact, he could swim quite beautifully. The end. We want to fly. We want to wiggle at least. So let's fly like the penguin. Flap your arms. Come on, flap your arms.
I can fly like this.
Flap around in a circle. Oh, come on, you're never going to get off the ground like that. Come on, fly. Flap them wings. Wake them penguin arms up. All right. Well, that didn't work. Let's try the helicopter thing. Let's spin around in a circle. See if that works. Can we get off the ground? Can we get off the ground? That didn't work. Do you know, hold it. Do you know what penguins are really good at?
Swimming.
Besides swimming, he said it. Everybody listen up a little bit.
Swimming.
No, the other thing that you said.
Waddling.
They waddle. What is waddle? That's how penguins walk. So let's waddle like a penguin. If we can't fly, we will swim and we will waddle and be the best waddlers out there. Well, that's okay. And the other thing penguins can do is what? Swim and dive. So let's swim and dive. Okay, now let's sit down.
This story is called Penguins, Penguins Everywhere. Some penguins live in icy places, and some live in the heat. Did you know that? Their colors help them hide when they fish for fishy treats. Cold penguins huddle close with penguin heat to share. So they're all huddled close together to keep warm. Yes. Daddies warm fragile eggs with tender, special care. Hot penguins fluff their feathers to cool off from the sun. They're trying to keep cool. Their chicks call out from shady caves to ask for food and fun. Noisy penguins waddle and toboggan to the sea. Each one honks to find its mate wherever it may be. And that's how they talk to each other. They honk. Penguins watch for sneaky seals as they swim and splash and play. They're watching out for those sneaky seals out there. Sleepy little penguins end another perfect day. Now, another book about penguins is called I Am Small, and it's by Emma Dodd. The world is fast, and I am small.
Oh my, so fast.
The ocean is deep, and I am small. The mountains are steep, and I am small. See that steep mountain? The wind is strong, and I am small. The winter is long, and I am small. The sky is high, and I am small. The stars stretch far, and I am small.
Why did all smaller than each page?
Every page so far. These things are big and long and deep, and strong and high and far and steep. And I am small. But you are big and you are kind. When I'm with you, I do not mind. And there's the small, where's the small penguin? There he is. I may be small, but I can see the biggest thing to you is me.
This is called The Penguin Who Wanted to Sparkle. One moonlit night, Mommy Penguin's egg went crack. A tiny beak appeared, then a head, followed by two tiny wings and a pair of orange feet. A fluffy little penguin chick called Pip hopped out. Pretty sparkles, she squeaked as she gazed up at the sparkly stars in the sky. Then Pip saw a lot of funny fish jumping out of the ocean. Waves splash. They were all shiny and sparkly. I want to sparkle too, squeaked the little penguin excitedly. Soon, It began to snow. Shh. Pip watched the snowflakes floating down, sparkling as they fell. If I catch some, I can sprinkle them on my feathers, she thought. Then I will sparkle too. Pip ran around trying to catch the snowflakes, but they just melted on her wings. Where have the sparkles gone, she wondered. Pip found a bank of powdery white snow. It twinkled in the moonlight. Now I will sparkle, she cried, rolling over and over in the snowy drift. But the moon disappeared behind a cloud. The snow stopped twinkling, and Pip's feathers didn't sparkle one tiny bit. Maybe I could catch a sparkly star, thought Pip, jumping up and down, but she couldn't reach one. However hard she tried, poor Pip felt very sad. What are you doing, Pip? Asked the other penguins. Why do you look so sad? I'm trying to catch some sparkles, Pip explained, so they all tried to help. They hopped and they jumped, they rolled and they wriggled, but they couldn't catch any sparkles, however hard they tried. Just then, a friendly whale swam by. All that jumping and rolling about looks very tiring, he laughed. Why don't you come and slide on my back instead? Everyone agreed this was wonderful. It was a wonderful idea, even Pip. One by one, the penguins whooshed down the whale's back and landed in the glittery sea. Splash! Pip hopped out of the water and shook her wet feathers in the sunshine. Look, cried the other penguins, you're sparkling all over. Pip danced happily in the snow, so that's how you sparkle, by having fun in the sun. Come on, everyone, let's have another go.
We're going to form some semblance of a line, a gaggle, a herd, or whatever. And this is my finished product, but this is what you start out with. And on the table, you will see lots of little squares of black tissue paper and some crayons. But when you come through here, we're going to give you your penguin, and you get to pick out your eyes. So first, you go ahead and stick your eyes on. And then I colored my nose and my feet, and I colored my feet blue because I figured if you had to stand on the snow all day, you'd get blue. And that was just what I did. And I like purple, so I put a purple hat on mine. But you can do yours any way you want as far as coloring and decorating.